obviously disappointing day on Saturday. I had a chance to go back and watch the tape and look at all that happened, and a lot of credit to Indiana for playing really a clean football game, and B, just not our best football in any area. So disappointing. It's just kind of an opportunity for us to kind of get back today and get to work and try to improve that. We have obviously a great test ahead of us, but we're excited to move forward. So with that, I'll take all your guys' questions.
You watched the defensive film. What were your main takeaways about why you struggled on defense to that level?
Yeah, we struggled at the corner position. They isolated some one-on-one throws and one-all. Those are 50-50 balls. So you should come out. You should win 50% of the time, and they won most of them. So then we were kind of maybe a little bit more off, and they took a lot of free access. But really, the game came down to me to the run game. We were not able to stop the run. And really, in some cases, in some, like as I said the other day, like some inexplicable, like we're blitzing into the run, and there's an unblocked defender, and we just didn't tackle, didn't play well. In the second half, go back for that game now. It's 14-7 with 4 minutes left in the first half, and we call that the middle eight. The first four. We've been historically very good in that area, and we weren't. We weren't good. And, you as a head coach, I think you always have to start with, like, what do I regret? What do I not regret? Coming out in the second half, it's 28-7. We drive the ball down there. It's 4th and 8, 4th and 9. Probably should have kicked the field goal there. The analytics say no. The analytics say go for it. And there's a big part of me that, like, wants to show the guys, like, you're always playing to win. And it felt like a lot of times in that game we were playing not to lose. And I think defensively, the minute you lose that edge of I'm playing to win, where you're trying not to lose, a really good defense becomes very average very quickly. And so, but I put them in harm's way in the second half by, going for them 4th down, trying to get back in the game, At the same time, I probably shouldn't have done it. I don't know that I regret it, if that makes sense. Like, I kept saying to Giff on the sidelines, hey, I can't wave the white flag. I can't not try to get back in this game. But to answer your question, so I think that's what made the score so bad. But we from the very beginning we were not tackling at the level we're capable of. We were not that first 4th and 3rd and 1. If an unblocked defender there, doesn't make the play. So we just was bad all around.
You mentioned after the game, like the bubble screens were going for none, and they were getting them for 20. How would you size up just the perimeter blocking and where that's at right now?
Our perimeter blocking has been a deficiency for us the entire year and continues to be. Like even on the first drive, the second drive of the game, you think about the game, right? We start with the ball on the 1 yard line. We get a couple first downs, we punt the ball. Then the next drive, we drive the ball all the way down to the 15-yard line. We fumble. But, they blitz off the edge. We have a bubble screen out there. Should get thrown out there. Doesn't get thrown out there. Okay, whatever. Well, on the first drive of the second half, we kick it out there, and Jacory just gets tackled because we don't block the safety. There's an execution component of all this that I hate when coaches say, well, we just didn't execute, right? Like, to me, that's like a cop-out. But what I don't like is missed assignments. What I don't like is, not knowing what to do. And so in many areas, things happened fast in that game. They pressured us. We kicked the ball out, and either we run into the defender or we don't make the block. So that whole component of our game was lacking, and it's something that they did. They did, on the goal line, they did it at a high level. They did a couple times. They took advantage of their RPOs. So it's an area that we have to be better at.
What's your challenge to your assistant coaches as they take the players through both the fundamental drills and just the preparation this week for how they can get the players better in a short amount of time?
Yeah, Keith told me, I do a good job in season of just staying very locked in and not reading stuff and listening to stuff. But Keith kind of said, like, hey, he said to me today, your statement of I didn't see this coming gained traction. To which I would say, and I'm just going to get to your point, if I saw this coming, then you guys should all be very nervous. Like, I thought we were going to play well, and I thought we had a great bye week. And we legitimately, Sam, I'm telling you, we legitimately, worked on these things over and over. Now, sometimes, no one's going to want to hear this. Sometimes maybe it'll show up this week, maybe it'll show up the next week. But, these are not things we haven't done all year, all spring. We got to that moment, and We just didn't do the things I know we're capable of doing. And so I hate when coaches walk in after games and say, hey, that's on me. But I really felt that way because, I know what we're capable of doing, and we didn't do it. We just weren't ready for that moment. We weren't ready for that game. We weren't ready and it felt like that all the way up. Even in pregame, it felt awesome. So to your point, I think there's a challenge sent to the coaches. There's also a challenge sent to the players. These are grown men. You're supposed to block that guy. Block him. Block him. There's a couple of plays. Emmett spins out of one, and if the guy would have blocked the safety on the backside, he'd gone for a touchdown. I just show the guys as a team how much we all affect each other. A missed block on a bubble screen leads to a 4th and 8 pick, which leads to the ball going all the way down to the 20, which leads to a touchdown. Everyone's got to do their job and do it at a high level. So, to me, this happened to us. We allowed it to happen. It stunk. It hurt. We'll find out a lot about ourselves moving forward. We'll find out about the coaches. We'll find out about the players. We'll find out about me. The last thing we're going to do is sit around and be victims. So yeah. There's areas that we struggled in that game, but at the same time, we haven't struggled tackling like we did in that game. We haven't struggled getting off blocks. We haven't struggled guys. We haven't done that, and so we did it in that game. So I think today we took a deep step back, and then we'll attack the week.
You had 5 turnovers in the last 6 quarters. I think before that you only had 3 in 22 quarters. Particularly in the passing game, what are you seeing? Why is Dylan forcing throws or throws not there? Are teams playing different looks on Dylan? Why are the interceptions there now that maybe weren't there at the beginning of the year?
I think a smarter coach probably would have just settled the game. When you're down 35-7, would have settled the game down. In my mind, the long game is that Dylan's